All right. Welcome back to another podcast episode about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This time, this one's going to be a longer format, deep dive into some of the things that I have noticed about the story or just things that have been on my mind that I need to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
I'm here, obviously, with my girlfriend, Grace.
Hello. I'm here for moral support. I'm just here to ask questions. I have watched Lily play the game. I have not played it myself, so take my opinions with a grain of salt.
Yep. But that's okay.
But that's fine. It's still fun.
But we're here just to just have this open discussion and have, I have things in here that are very opinionated because this game is very divisive.
Yes.
And so it's nice to have somebody who is maybe not seen but doesn't have as much of a bias towards some of these things that people who have played the game would. So with that, we're just going to jump right in.
Exactly.
Just a full warning that we're going to be spoiling Acts 1, 2, and 3, the entire game. We're going to start with Act 1 and kind of work our way down. But yeah, full spoilers ahead, so if you don't want to listen to them or you haven't finished the game, why are you even listening to this?
You have been warned, honestly, so...
Go finish the game.
Have
why
fun.
are you here?
Yeah, pause, come back, hit the like button, then
Save it.
Save it.
Yeah,
hit
and
that
subscribe.
bell. Yeah, there you go.
All the YouTuber things.
Exactly.
But, so we're going to start with the top of Act 1. So the first thing that I have to talk about is the idea of basically the meaning of the title, which is Clair Obscur. Obviously, Expedition 33 is the obvious one.
Yes.
But Clair Obscur, it is a French term. It actually has a couple different meanings.
Okay.
So I think in some context of this game, it is literally like a place.
Yes.
Kind of like a proper noun, right? It's a place. But also doing some research, and thanks to some other people who have done it before me.
Yep.
It also is apparently a term that is used by painters or artists, and it's basically when you put a light and a dark together, and it makes certain
hues, shades, or
it makes a certain effect. It's the way to contrast to make certain effects or make certain
art terms.
art terms. Contrasting details.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. But basically, it's they put one strip of light paint and one strip of dark.
Okay.
And so again, Clair is light and obscure means dark, so light, dark.
Clair Obscur.
Correct.
Yes. Oui.
That's going to be a little bit more important, and we'll bring it back up again kind of in the music episode, because there's also a more literal translation, which it's just into another French word.
Okay.
But I thought it was very interesting because, of course, it's a painting term.
Yep.
So, with a story full of painters.
Staying on theme, exactly.
And then with also just the light dark. The light dark theme comes out a lot. Like in enemies, there's, enemies that are dark. There are enemies that are light. There are some that are both.
Like the mime.
No, not even, yeah.
He's black and white.
You're not wrong, actually. On a technicality, you're not wrong. But I'll show
There's
you.
There's more to it, yes.
Hold on.
It's I'm just making a goof. But yes, there's a lot just to this game. Again, not that I've played it personally, but Lily has talked just about it in so many different ways, all the theories and everything. So, no, I'm excited just to learn more.
So these are actually the enemies I'm talking about. There are one. This is a terrible picture.
We gotta love the what is that, transition background?
Yeah, the transparent.
Transparent. There you go.
But you have some that are fully white, so the Clair.
Yes.
You have some that are dark, which are the obscure, and then you have these, which are light and dark.
Are those the Clair Obscurs? Did we just solve the game? Okay, wrap it up, buddies.
Right,
outro right now.
But yeah, so I mean, it's in a lot of places.
Yes.
And I think it's very cool. It's obviously a cool detail. It's very on brand. So
yes.
Again, also just good to know for later episodes of this that it does mean something.
Yes.
Again, I wanted to touch on this now, but we'll touch on it more in the music episode.
Oh, definitely. Yep.
Literally, the foreshadowing is not so subtle, and I know a lot of the lyrics of the music. People were like, well, how did French people not understand?
Catch the story, exactly.
There's been a lot of Reddit posts, and there have been other creators and other YouTubers that have kind of, put out that call being like, French people, what did you think when you played this?
Exactly.
Well, some of it, number one, some of the lyrics are not in French. They're actually in Latin. And
Oh.
also, the composer said that he not made up, but he's using like a medieval language, like one that is not a
Oh.
common. It's kind of like if we were speaking in Shakespearean.
Yes.
So it would be very complicated. Like if you heard a song that was spoken in the way Shakespeare wrote, you'd be like, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
Doth thou know?
Yeah.
Like,
So that's how they kind of skirted around it.
got it.
But they're literally in the beginning, in the scene which I've shown you, but I will pull it up.
Yes.
Uh,
Live react right now. Yes.
Live react right this second. When during the gommage, during Sophie's gommage, when she quote unquote dies, the song in the background
Yes.
is Renoir's. Like it's literally titled Renoir. It's his theme.
Oh, yes.
And in that song, some of the lyrics have all of the family names. So they talk about Verso and Alicia and Alina,
Oh.
Aline. And they are like heavily foreshadowed. Apparently people have said that song kind of foreshadows. But again, it's kind of
okay.
spoken in that medieval language. They're like,
It's
we
like-
don't really know what's happening, but we can hear like these names, but we don't know these people yet.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of neat. And I know we'll see it, just the opening and everything, but imagine getting full lore drop and your girlfriend's just dying in the middle of it by getting Thanos snapped. R.I.P. Sophie. Sophia? Sophie?
Sophie.
Oh yeah, you could tell we really care about her, guys. Or I do, at least.
So this is again, full spoilers, obviously. Literally, that piano bit is the
Yes.
beginning of Renoir's theme, which we'll get into in a different.
Yes, but that's important. It all ties in.
It ties in because again, Renoir is the one who's gommaging them. He's the one getting rid of them.
Yes.
Remember, the paintress is just like a red herring. She is not getting rid of these people. It is
warning.
Renoir
Exactly.
getting rid of them. Listen to the lyrics. Like Alina, which
Yes.
is the way they pronounce Alina in a lot of the songs. There's Alina again.
Alina,
They say
yeah.
Alina like 5 times, I think, in the song. Verso.
And I know we're going to talk about it later, but the music is just absolutely beautiful in this game.
No, it truly is. And like I said, we're gonna have a whole nother podcast literally just about the music,
Exactly.
or about not just about the music. I say because like that would take literal hours to talk all about it, but that we will deep dive in on that a little. But I just thought that the fact that they put that so early on, like literally
Yes,
in
with
the
all the
opening scene,
names. Yep.
literally in the opening scene, that is a huge hint that this is Renoir's doing, that he's getting rid of these people. This is not the
Yes.
Paintress' doing. And I'm just like, that's fucking wild. That's how
Exactly.
early on that they're like cluing you in.
That's why it's really neat, because I know you told me this before too. It's like replaying it all over again, or like rewatching some of these scenes are even more impactful because you knew oh, this is the background of
We
it.
knew
This
from
is-
the beginning.
Exactly. It's
We
always
just
been
were
there.
too naive.
Yes.
There is again, I'm not going to play this, but I'm going to pull them up. There's some lyrics that are, so after they make it to off the continent, or I guess off of Lumiere, onto
Yes.
the continent, the expedition gets wiped out, and then Gustav gets hit, and then wakes up in a different area.
Yeah.
And once he finds Lune, and they start walking around that area, because they're looking for Mael, there's literally a song that plays in English, mind you, not in French, in English. I want to show you the lyrics, and I'll read them.
Yes.
And after knowing the ending, you're like, I should have put it together.
Knowing
and
what
those
I know
lyrics
now.
are
Yep.
in English.
Okay.
There is no hidden they're out in the open.
So it's just straight up. There's no French here. It's all for us.
Okay, so this is the song that plays at the beginning, and it is called Cotton and Linen, and it's like in the first dungeon area that you can walk around in. And it's, like I said, is not in French, so everything you hear, if you were listening, you could technically hear it.
Yes.
But literally, starting from the top, it is linen and cotton blend. Feel the ink flowing through your veins.
Yep.
It will be the blood of your life.
I mean, not wrong.
And then she says, give up the knife, because she's basically saying, like, I'm not the bad person. Y'all are, like, painted,
Yes.
people, like, because these expeditions keep coming after her. And she's like, don't.
She's like, don't do that. First of all, I created you. Second of all, I'm not the one trying to get rid of you.
And then I guess the chorus in
Yes.
this, but don't be afraid of the passing time. There are so many different times. Don't be afraid of the passing time. You will be fine.
Damn. And do you think, okay, so in your opinion, do you think that lyric is more talking about, like, the painter saying, hey, don't worry, even if, like, there is too much time passing and it doesn't have an impact in the real world? Or do you think this is more just like,
I think she's saying, like, had she been left, Aline been left to her own devices and her husband didn't try to come forcefully take her out,
yep,
I think, like, things would have been fine.
Yeah.
Like, time would have just kept passing and it would have been fine. It would
Yep.
have been okay, but it's not, because other people interfered.
Yep.
But yeah, that's literally in English. The line about feel the ink flowing in your veins really should have,
given us some ideas to, what all was happening.
It's fine. Again, though, it's one of those things, when you replay it, you realize
That's when it all clicks.
that's when it all clicks.
Yep.
The next thing is not really an Act 1 thing. It is just something, because I'm not going to break it up, because it's talking about Francois. And Francois is, again, it's a character that I kind of felt was underdeveloped, because we
Yes.
don't get to know a lot about him. And,
No.
like, what we do, we get from SKA, but SKA obviously doesn't give a lot of information about it.
No.
And I wish they would have told us a little bit more of, like, about Francois. Like,
Yes.
granted, you can look it up, and I understand that, but
He tends to stay in his shell, so we don't know a lot
he's a
about
turtle
him.
with no feet.
Exactly.
But the specific part I wanted to show you,
Yes.
because I think, I don't know if I've showed you. No, because you saw the part where he was like, "Get off my lawn."
I have seen that part, because he really is just some curmudgeony old man.
He really is. So this is later, and basically, Verso and SKA have to go back to him, and because they need something from him, and so they go back, and they are like, "But we got to bring something to him. Like, he's gonna be upset if we just show back up."
You don't show up to a party without any kind of gift.
A little.
A little
and
bit,
so they're
yeah.
like, "Okay, we'll make him this thing." So this is the scene, and I'm gonna let it
Okay.
play out, and then we'll talk about it.
Thanks.
Ooh, how about that rock over there? Cool. Ta-da! Doesn't it look just like him? I almost feel like Francois is here with us.
Oh, yes.
All right. I'm ready.
What? You want to go now?
Yes, yes, yes. It won't take long now that I can fly. Let's go see Francois.
You're back.
Francois!
Don't call me that.
You have Uri. Why didn't you tell me?
Prove it.
We'll trade you. Uri for this, lovely portrait of you.
Is that supposed to be me?
Absolutely
I
beautiful.
think we captured your essence beautifully.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Huh. No deal. You want Uri? Come and get it. You want Uri? Come and get it.
Let's cover path. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Fine, fine, fine. Here. Pah! Take your rock and scram.
Oh, Yuri, I've missed you. Thank you.
You can leave the other one, though.
Oh, Francois.
He really does miss her.
So if we go back really quick to that little portrait of him, Also, doesn't that look so much bigger when it's like right beside Francois than like in Esquia's hands?
It definitely does. This looks like it's like the size of like a keychain or something.
But then next to Francois is like a fucking statue.
Exactly.
But like this is Clea that they carved on top.
Yeah.
And so obviously they hint that like Francois is basically the equivalent of Esquia to Verso. It's like his imaginary friend or her imaginary friend that they went on adventures with when they were young.
Yes.
And that's why he misses her. That's why he's crying about her. That's, you know, things like that. And then there's a line that Esquia says to Verso that, like, you know, centuries without your best friend would make you sad too.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's so sad. And I wish they would have given us a little more of Francois.
Yeah.
Because I think he's also funny. He's also that comedic relief that sometimes you need. But.
And, you know me, since I'm an expert in having an older sister.
You are.
Yes, I have one.
Well, I have none, so that's already better than me.
There you go, expertise there. But I will say it is kind of neat to think about, like, just the toy aspect, because I'm assuming, like, Verso and Clea, they played together.
Yeah.
Like, with Francois, with Esquier, and, you know, just seeing that, like, Verso is still with Esquier probably makes Francois kind of jealous. Yeah, which understood,
but it makes him angry.
Yeah, it makes him angry, like he's lonely.
Get off my lawn.
Exactly, get off my lawn, like he's literally in the shell.
Yeah.
So I think it is like really cute just to see how each kind of turned out, and it does make sense that this is an older sibling's toy.
Yeah,
that's not played with.
That's
anymore.
Kind of got abandoned when she left the canvas. Like when she didn't
grew
come back.
up.
She didn't come back to the canvas. I should
Exactly.
But yeah, I just wanted to bring up Francois because I think he's an underdeveloped character. I mean, I don't think they could have done too much more with him, honestly. But I wish I would have gotten a little bit more.
But he's
detail
fun. Exactly.
About him. This one was interesting. So I remember this because I remember being like, huh, that's a little weird. But Verso is actually brought up by name twice in Act 1 before you ever see him like in person.
Ooh, where?
The first one is Noko brings him up.
Yes.
And it's when they first enter the forest and like Mael already knows Noko, but he's running up to the group and being like, "Oh, like you're Neverons." And he would be like, "Oh, Verso would be so upset by this." And they just kind of gloss over it.
Oh,
they're just like, "Oh." And I think it's more because the rest of the group, so like Lune, Ciel's not with them yet. So it's just Lune, Gustav, and Mael. And I think Lune and Gustav are just so, like, kind of shocked that Gestiles even exist that they aren't even listening to what he's saying.
Yes.
But obviously Noko knows Verso.
Of course.
And so again, he brings him
That's
up
like
literally
his
by
uncle.
name.
Yeah.
And it's like, nobody's going to ask who that was?
Nope.
Okay, great. So then we gloss over him. And then the second time he's brought up by... It was Noko and...
Now that we know
it's Esquier.
Oh, Esquier. Okay.
Because he says he used to fly around with his best friend Verso.
Oh, okay.
And then they gloss over that too. And that one I can't excuse as much by the team because like, well, okay, I say that, but like they also thought Esquier was like a fictional character. Like they didn't think he existed either. So I guess they're also a little stunned by him.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
But yeah, I'm like, you didn't hear this name again, and you're like, who the fuck is this man?
Why do these weird beings that we've never met keep mentioning this one name?
But I don't know. It is interesting because he is just said he is name dropped.
Oh, also random question about Verso because you can see his like statues around Lumiere.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, does nobody wonder who the hell that is? I mean, I know, again, the paintress made all this, so it's up to her, but...
I think it's also vague enough that people don't question it. And
true.
to be fair, anybody who knew him was obviously not around by, like...
Yeah.
So, I think, it just kind of maybe got lost in, like, time.
Yes.
Because I think early on, obviously, people were like, that kind of looks like you.
Exactly.
But by the time we get to Expedition 33, like, these people are like, we don't care. We're just trying to not like lose everybody die out.
Exactly. If I was personally part of the expedition, the first time I saw Verso, I'd be like, "Oh my god, you're the guy from the statue."
To be fair, he also kind of, I would argue, not granted, I know the Lumiereans don't know this, but he also kind of looks like Renoir.
He does.
And so you could also argue maybe that's him, but I know it's not, but
yes.
You could argue it's not necessarily Verso. It could be any kind of
any random
man.
guy, yes.
So I think that's probably why they don't question it too much. But,
Understood.
yeah, I mean, I also understand. You're like, man, you're that dude that's in the harbor.
Exactly.
As like these giant statues. And then we're gonna close out Act 1 talking really briefly, of course, about the Act 1 twist, which is Gustav gets killed at the end of Act 1.
Untimely passing, yes.
Which, fun fact, the lead writer on this game said they wanted to do that pretty early on. Well, it was a joke at first, but then...
Gustav's death is a joke to you?
Well, like, that they originally were thinking about, like, probably not doing that.
Yes, yep.
And then they decided to, because they wanted to... Number one, they wanted the player to feel grief, like these characters did.
Yeah.
And then number two, to, like, realize, like, not, like... Just because he's the main character, he doesn't have plot armor. Because that is a thing you find a lot in video games.
True.
Is that, like, oh, your main character has plot armor because you have to play with them the entire time so that, you know, oh, yes, this bad thing, like, doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're like, oh, well, they're hurt, but they're not dead because they're the main character.
Exactly.
But, okay, spoilers for The Last of Us and Persona 5 Royal. But, like, The Last of Us in Part 2, I mean, they kill off Joel, who everybody loved in Part 1.
Exactly.
So...
Plot armor immediately gone.
Was gone early. And then in Persona 5, there is a point where you think that the protagonist has died, but he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, granted, I mean, I get it. Like, these are kids in high school, and it's probably a little dark for the Persona series. But at the same time, I'm like, I kind of wish you would have committed to that.
Exactly. It's like knowing the superhero is going to live and win at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So... I appreciate that they didn't take these, you know, this Gustav, like his character, and be like, oh yeah, he's gonna live. And, okay, because my silly question after he died, because of course I was watching Lily play it, or she showed me the scene, I was like, well, can't, like, one of them just revive him or something? Because they have, like, health? But I'm like, oh no, that's different.
Well, and they could. But, again, remember that the lore reason for that was that the boss that you were fighting with him before was tying up your other characters that had healing, all the healing stuff.
Yep.
And I think, I think it's like in most fictional things, like, sure, you can heal them, but I mean, after a certain point, like, if they're just dead for too long, I don't think there's much you can do.
I mean, and he did get stabbed multiple times. Yeah. Do you really want to make it back from that?
If you die, like, real quick, we can bring it back real fast, but, like, if you're dead for a minute, I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, because Lune and CL were already on SGA, and then the lamplighter, I think is what it's called, or lamp master.
The bad
lighter?
guy that's
the bad
next
guy.
to the water. Yep.
Yeah, he came back up, and they were like, "Fuck," and so they.
So
could
they're a little
not help him.
preoccupied.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But good for them, honestly, for killing off your main character.
I agree.
Moving into Act 2, one thing I wanted to talk about kind of off the top was the faceless people, and truthfully how painfully long it took for me to realize that was the family, because you have the faceless boy, and then you have the faceless girl, which is Clea, which she's only in like one or two areas. Okay. And I never came across the faceless girl, I think, like in my main playthrough of the game.
Yes.
But Clea is definitely more of a person you explore like post game.
Okay.
And then you'd have the faceless man, and then the faceless woman. And I'm not talking about, like, the curator and, like, the paintress.
Oh,
like,
these are totally different.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll show you just a picture so you're, like,
yes.
See them.
Live updates. I'm looking at a picture because I fully thought that the faceless man and faceless woman from Expedition 33 were just the paintress and the curator.
Okay. So, the fading woman looks... I don't want to click on a YouTube video, but looks like this.
Oh, kind of like a shadowy...
Like literally like a shadow.
Yes, okay.
Yes, okay, wow. So the only one who's considered faceless are the literal real ones.
Okay.
Which are the curator, the paintress, and then
the boy.
Verso.
Yes.
They're called fading, for anybody who's trying to search this later, if they are the, like, remnants, I guess. Because, see, he looks like a literal man, but it's the remnants of... like Renoir, and he kind of laments that he's like depressed because his family's falling apart, and that he says at one point that he would have traded all of the rest of his years for his, but you don't know.
Yep.
You're like, who is
this fading man?
Who's his though? Like, you're like, okay, great, I understand you trade your life for somebody who died, but who is the somebody?
Yes.
So it's a lot of that. And on your first playthrough, you walk up to these people and you're like, that's cool, I'm sorry that you're sad.
Thanks for these cryptic messages.
Kind of.
Yep.
Why are you talking in poems to me? And then going back, I'm like, I've watched a couple videos on, like, especially the, like, Faceless Boy.
Yes.
And how his messages really tie together. And it is wild how much he really, like, if you know when you know that twist, the plot, you're like, oh, it makes all
Like,
it
he
makes
was
all the
really
sense.
just giving it away the whole time.
Yes, literally. Straight from the get-go. Just want to touch on them. I also want to touch on the fact that in Act 2, as you could see on my, like, notes for these, I put in all caps that Verso is complicated.
Complicated. Yes.
Because he is torn up. And, I mean, we'll get more into this in, like, the Act 3 stuff. But I think a part of him, you know, he always says, he's like, I'm tired. Like, he's tired of, like, living and being, I think, you know, once he understood that he wasn't the real one, I think he definitely had a kind of a shift in, a change of mind. But at the same time, there's also, I think, a part of him that kind of wants to keep the canvas, because, I mean, it is his
that's its
thing.
whole existence.
Yeah. But he is kind of always lying, and there's a couple of lies that he really walks himself into early on that I'm like, I'm more surprised that the group, the other people, the other expeditioners in 33 weren't more, like, shady of him.
Yes.
Because he obviously, especially later on, you know, he lies about, like, not being able to say Gustav.
Yep.
He's like, yeah, I could have saved him, but
I didn't feel
like
it.
Because I was worried that, you know, he was worried Mael wouldn't help him, things like that. And then he also lies, like, early on, he lies to the group pretty early when he meets them, I think, that, like, how or why he and Renoir are immortal.
Yes.
Because he knows why they're immortal, but he doesn't tell them why they're immortal.
Don't break the illusion quite yet. That's for Act 3.
That's for Act 3.
Yes.
So, you know, he has all these lies, and I'm just more surprised that the expedition didn't kind of get more upset when they found out, like, oh, this is...
He's a liar.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a little selfish.
Yes.
But, I mean, I guess they just felt bad for him, maybe. I don't know.
Or just finally somebody that's willing to help them and not try to murder them.
It's true. There is a part, I think it's in Act 2. I put it in under Act 2, but I can't remember if it's in 2 or 3. There's a part where they're in a black and white scene, so that's, of course, when, like, the real people are usually kind of, there's more story being dropped about the real family. But I think it's actually right when they meet the paintress. Like, they're up on the monolith, they're up in, like, in her home, and she is talking to them, or they're talking to her, I should say. Metaphorically, because they're in that black and white area, but again, they can feel pain because it's all painted, but it's not, like, literal.
Yes.
But she makes Ciel, Lune, and Mael, like, catch on fire. Like, they're on fire. But not Verso, because that's how that man died.
Yeah, no, that would be insensitive.
And but then he grabs Mael and, like, hugs her. Yes. And she stops because she, I think, sees, like, it's him protecting his sister.
Yes.
And it's, like, she doesn't want to harm him in that way. So she, like, stops that illusion.
Yes.
And I'm like, again, if that's not foreshadowing for Act 3 of how, or how that man actually died,
then I don't know what
what is. Yep. But again, in the moment, you're really just thinking, like, oh, like, she's just being mean to them.
Yeah.
A couple small details to just touch on, again, that I think happened in, like, late Act 2, maybe early Act 3, because I might be misremembering the timeline a little. But in the Renoir boss battle, the second one, with the painted Renoir, because you fight him twice. You fight him once.
When Gustav dies.
No.
Oh, this is like a full... Okay.
Because that's not a real battle.
Oh, true.
Because Gustav doesn't do it. Like, he can't do anything to hurt him.
No.
He, like, pushes him back, and then he just kills him.
Basically.
So I guess if you're going to count that one, you fight him 3 times.
Okay.
So you fight him once, like, outside the manor. Mm-hmm. And then you fight him again when you defeat him before you get to the paintress.
Oh, okay,
So the second time, when you actually defeat him, there's a scene, like, you're wearing him down, and then it goes, once you beat him, you go into a cutscene. And in that cutscene, he's, like, on the ground because he's got knocked back.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of white petals appear, like, kind of, like, shed off of him, and then he gets back up. Knowing now what we know, that the white petals are a sign of Aline's power, she was restoring him. Because, again, the painted father, the painted Renoir, was her, like, protector.
Yes. Her ideal husband.
Yes,
when your husband sucks in real life, you just paint a better one.
You just paint a better one that will protect you.
Exactly.
And so she was restoring, like, him, like, to full health and, like, I guess helping him be better, like, get his strength back. And I'm like, Oh.
Like, this all makes sense.
It all makes sense. Like,
Yep.
of course, I mean, that makes sense. She would, and that's why he's immortal, and that's why, I mean, she's obviously just helping him. Another small detail, switching away from kind of the main people, the Gestials are modeled after paintbrushes, obviously.
Yes,
that one's
those
very
are cute.
clear.
Those are cute.
But their tendencies are modeled after dogs. Because they are the dogs. They're the family dogs.
Yes.
But because they are, like, they like toys, they like collecting things, and I was watching a YouTube video where you can see one that, like, died of overconsumption.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Like how, like, if you left, a dog kind of freely with, like, all the food it wanted, it would probably just keep eating until it died.
Yeah.
They like to fight, but not, like, to the death. They just like to roughhouse.
Of course. Like, play around.
Yeah,
Yep.
so there's a lot of, like, their tendencies of, like, the way that they act that's dog-like, but they are modeled after paintbrushes. Like, their physical form is a paintbrush, but they are mentally kind of like dogs.
Yes.
And I think that is, like, the cutest thing in the world.
I know.
Yeah, I just think that's so cute.
It's cute. It's certainly
also,
cute.
on Sandfall's website, apparently, like, they have, like, a studio dog. Like, there's a dog that lives with them, or I guess works with them.
Yes.
And its name is Minoko.
Oh, well, that's cute.
So, like, that's so cute.
That's like, and it makes sense too, because like Minoko's loyal to like Verso, and
that's also why they think that he likes feet.
oh,
That's why he needs the feet of the Gestial or of the Neverons to like get their
like
abilities.
become
It's because he is like probably a dog that like nips at feet and like.
true.
But,
Or he's just used to being like, this is usually what I see and I understand.
Yes. Yes, I want the foot.
Yes.
The next thing to talk about is that the family members, and again, this one might be a little early because this is probably more of an Act 3 thing, but that the actual family members are connected to like the stages of grieving.
Yes.
So you have, and these are kind of loosely based because I mean you can make a case that like I think all of them are at some point. Some of these are
some
multiples
stage
of
of grief. Yes.
Yeah, but the first one is that Aline is in denial.
Yes.
I would say that's pretty.
Because Aline is the
correct.
paintress. That's the mom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She ran into his canvas to like grieve and to like live in this fantasy.
Yeah, definitely in denial. You know, if you're just trying to paint a whole new reality, that's she's not dealing with it.
I think the next one is also pretty correct. Clea is like anger. And I don't even think her anger is like, well, I don't think her anger is at like the death of her brother per se. I think she is upset by it, sure, but I think she is more angry because her parents are now fighting in this canvas when they could be fighting the real world threat, which is the writers.
The writers. And I was about to say, because she also has like not a revenge arc, but a revenge.
But that's her.
driving
Yes,
her.
That's what she wants. She's like, I don't care about y'all like petty fighting in the canvas. Like we need to fight the real threat in the real world, which is the writers. Like, I actually would argue Clea is probably the one who's the most sane because yes, the writers used Alicia in some way, in some capacity, that started the fire.
Yes.
But it's still their fault that the fire even was started.
Yes, definitely.
And so I think her anger towards the writers is probably the most logical.
I think it's justified, for sure.
It's definitely justified. I think it's the most logical because Aline is angry at Alicia, but like it's the writers who manipulated your daughter.
Exactly. It's the writers who have manipulated your daughter. Like Alicia would never plan for her own brother to die.
She's like, I woke up and chose violence.
Exactly.
Today.
And I'm like, that's up, and you'll see it in the tier list. But that's why I don't really like the mom all that much, because like she's misplacing a lot of the blame to a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Which that's why I agree with you, like where Clea is the most like logical about like, no, this is the writer's fault.
Yeah.
Not that revenge is the best way to go about things,
but she's at least logical.
You want to blame.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then Alicia could be seen as bargaining because again, because of her ending a little, but also because like there's a lot of reasons you could make that argument.
Yes.
So I'll just kind of leave it at that. Ambiguous. And then Renoir is acceptance because he's trying to get the family back together and move on. Like he is always trying to like, he's trying to pull Aline out of this fantasy. He's trying to ground them back in the real world.
Yes.
Because as he says multiple times, he's like, I just want my family back.
Yes. Which
sad.
That is sad. It's like I feel bad for Renoir, like the dad or whatever, but we kind of, I think you and I both agreed, it's like he didn't go about it the correct way to try and get it all done by any means.
Just wait, I have a note here later to talk more about him and his right or wrong methods here.
Yay, daddy issues. We're going to get into that. But no, I could definitely kind of see acceptance, but also at the same time, not. Because, like, he accepts that he wants his family together and that Verso's
Yeah.
dead.
Yes.
But he's also not accepting of the reality that his family's creating a new fake reality.
I mean, he knows that they're doing it. He
Yes.
just- but I also think he knows it's not good for them, like, health-wise.
Yes.
So, again, I think that's the acceptance of, like, I know...
Verso's dead. We gotta move on.
Yes.
Yep.
He's accepting the reality. And I
Yes.
think that's kind of just where you have to
Where that
focus
acceptance
is.
comes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But we'll keep a pin in that because we'll come back to that one a little bit later.
Wonderful.
The next question, this is kind of an unanswered question because I've heard both sides of this, like, argument, but is who painted Alicia into the canvas? Like, the painted Alicia with the black and white one with the mask.
Yes.
Who painted her into the canvas? Was it Renoir or was it Aline? So was it the mom or the dad? And I'll give you both sides of the story, and then you can maybe see which one you think.
An unbiased opinion.
Yes. The reason people think it was Aline is because, again, when she went into the canvas after Verso died, you know, she started painting, like, Lumiere, and then painted the citizens, and then painted, you know, all these things then painted her family to, you know, bring her this comfort.
Yes.
And the argument here is that she painted her exactly like she was in the outside world because she wanted to, as bad as it sounds, but she was just so angry at her. She wanted her to look the same and kind of still have that suffering.
Suffer even in this, like, created world.
In this perfect world, in her perfect world. In her perfect world, she's still suffering because she was still the reason that Verso died.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's
one.
That's
thought.
also why she's, like, not in color, whereas, like, the other painted family members
they're all
are
vibrant. And,
yeah.
Yes.
So that's Aline's. Like, if it was Aline, that's the reason.
Yes.
I'm more apt to think it was Renoir, the curator, that painted her in, because again, she's in black and white. So, like, why is she the only one who has no color?
Yes.
She is the way she is, but that is because he needed a way to ground the paintress,
The reality,
back into reality.
Yes.
Being like, you are not escaping that. Like, your daughter has this, like, you know, physical deformation now, and, like, you need to accept this.
Yes.
And like, we still gonna love her. Like, we're still gonna be a family, but, like, this is the way she looks now. Like, she doesn't look, because, like, when she reincarnated. When the real Alicia went into the painting and she got reincarnated into Mael, she looked fine. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think the paintress is so cruel that she would paint her daughter with a deformity.
No.
But that's why I think Renoir painted her with the deformity to be like, you are not escaping that she's like this now.
Yes.
Like, this is reality.
Yes.
Also, some people have pointed out that she speaks like Renoir. Like, all of her things are very poetic and very, like, eloquent and very, like, if Mael is supposed to speak how Alicia speaks normally, like in the real world, that is not, like, painted Alicia does not speak like her.
Does not sound like that. No.
She sounds like Renoir because, again, if it was his creation, it would probably be more likely to sound like him.
Yes. Yep.
So those are the two sides.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm more apt to think that it was Renoir because, again, even though she's a shitty mom,
Yes.
I don't think she's so bad because, again, when she reincarnated her, it's not like she said, you still have to be deformed.
No. And, like, I not that we're mothers ourselves, but I feel like, you know, as a mother, you wouldn't want your kid to suffer. Like, basically the whole reason that the paintress, the mom, like, went into this painting was to create a reality where her son was still alive. So I would hope that she also, like you said, wouldn't paint her in as she, like Alicia is, just to be suffering in this universe. And if anything, kind of selfishly too, like what I think about the mom, just based on what I know about her, I don't even think she'd include Alicia.
And that's what,
to be quite honest,
that's what people have said. They're like, she probably wasn't even thought. Like, they probably didn't even. Like, if she painted her, if she painted this world, she probably didn't even add her.
Alicia, you know, in the mom's eyes, maybe has no place to be in her perfect reality, her perfect world. And I think it does make sense that Renoir would make or paint Alicia, because again, it's like you said, it's the grounding aspect that, like, hey, this is real life. And I think it's also kind of neat that even the Renoir that the paintress creates, the dad is...
He's not unkind to her.
He's not unkind to her. Like, he's still very much protective of her, which I think the paintress did paint her version of Renoir as that kind of dad that wanted to keep the family together. Exactly. So... Yeah.
So I think it was the curator or the real life Renoir who painted
Alicia,
the black and white Alicia, into the canvas to try to keep his wife somewhat tethered to, like, reality.
Yes.
And I think the painted versions of, like, him are in the family just kind of they can't just be like, well, we're gonna get rid of you.
No.
Like, she's there. So I mean, again, obviously the family still has, some semblance of like, well, you're our family, we're not gonna just throw you out, which is why she just kind of got adopted and integrated into them.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Of course, we can't end Act 2 without talking about the major plot twist in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Which is the fact that this world does not really exist.
It's all a farce.
It's all a farce. It's all on canvas. And then you still you only have the real people, which is the Desandra family. Probably not saying that right, but it's a French term. It's a French name. But I remember seeing it go from, like, so you're at the end of Act 2, everybody gomages away.
Yep. And
then it cuts to, it says Epilogue Alicia, and that's when it shows her, like, bad dream, and she wakes up in the real world. And I was like, Epilogue? I was like, where's Act 3?
I was like, what did I mess up?
Yeah, because I really thought that, like, I made a bad choice, or like, oh shit, like, did I have a choice to not fight the Paintress? Or, I'm like, I don't know, it felt kind of final. Like, I didn't feel like I had a choice here. Little did I know I was going to have a choice at the end of the game. But...
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
That twist alone, though, it is wild. And I love the letter that Alicia is reading, because she's like, she doesn't care what happens, and then...
she's made peace with whatever happens. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, because... words cannot describe what a twist that is into this story, and how much it now changes your perspective, because all these people who have died didn't really die, and yes.
Because I remember you showed me, I didn't watch this part with you when you were playing it.
Yeah.
So you actually, like, showed me the YouTube or, like, the video recap of it, and I was like, this is really impactful, because you were even talking about it too, where it's like, okay, you think it's like epitome of the best ending. Like, you defeated the Paintress, you get to go home.
Everybody can live for decades now.
Exactly. And then they all just start to disappear, which I'm like, oh, dang, that's crazy. And even just the thought of, like, with the epilogue with Alicia, like, coming back to the real world, going back into the canvas, and honestly just kind of exploring more about Alicia and how Mael came into...
Yeah, how she... became a thing.
Exactly. I'm like, that's such a neat twist as well. Being like, she was always here. The real Alicia
was literally right here.
Always here. Yes.
You thought the black and white one was real? Haha, you thought.
Exactly.
Yeah, again, the writing alone in the story was fantastic.
Oh, so smart. Yes.
A little slow at the beginning, but once it went, it went.
Exactly.
Okay, so Act 3.
Act 3
brings up more questions that, of course, they had to answer. Now, this was the first one they did not answer in the game.
Yes. Yep.
Which is, who are the writers? Who are these people that obviously have some kind of beef with the
Yes.
So much so that they would either set fire themselves and arson their manor, or they would use Alicia to somehow arson the manor. Like, we don't know what happened. We don't know how the fire started, but, we know something happened, and we know it was their fault.
Yes.
There are people who are obviously like, well, they're just like a feuding faction, you know. And then obviously there are some people who think a little bit more meta in this and think that the writers are potentially the creators of the game, Sandfall.
Yeah, the actual writers.
Yeah, because you can find a portrait of them. Like they took a group picture and then they obviously put it in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's of all of them, and it's in the manor.
Okay.
And the fact that they like manipulate the Desandra family.
Yes.
The painters. That's kind of how they think that ties in.
Yep.
I don't know if it's them. I think the picture is an Easter egg, and that's cool.
Yes.
Because, like, I think if you work this fucking hard on a game, you deserve to put yourself in there.
You should have your picture of the game. Yeah, so your little Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, truthfully, I don't know how, because part of me wants a sequel to this game.
Yes.
To know more. Because there are still some things that they didn't answer that they could definitely go back and elaborate on. This being one of them. Who are the writers? What is this outside beef with, like, the writers and the painters?
And the painters, yes.
Yeah. But part of me is also like, I don't want a sequel because this game was so good, and I don't know. I mean,
can you really follow it up?
Can you follow it up? Yeah.
Yep.
But I would, if they do anything that is like in this like Clair Obscur universe.
Yep.
I really do hope that they touch on like who are the writers. Even if it's them, like even if they're like, haha, somehow it's like it's us.
Like
I just like I think people want that closure of like who the fuck are these people?
or even just kind of diving into more. It's like, why did this like whole feud or whatever?
How did it start?
How did it even start? Like, why is
Who are you people?
Who are you people? Exactly. Like you would think like the writers and the painters would like work together. They're both creative people or like
apparently
creative
not.
outlets. I guess not. Yeah, the writers are arsonists. I guess. But or do you? Okay, this is me just doing meta questions. I know nothing about the lore. This is just me theorizing a game theory. Do you think the writers caused, this kind of arson, caused Verso to die or caused all of them to die just so they could make another story? And maybe that is why people think it's the meta, like, oh, these are the writers of the game. They killed this fictional character to create this whole story. They need something to write about.
Maybe.
Again,
I mean,
meta theory. I have no clue.
Looking at you, Sandfall.
True, honestly.
But yeah, so that's a question that doesn't get answered, unfortunately.
Yes.
But good theories.
Yes. A game theory.
Miss you, Matt Pat.
Yeah, miss
But
you.
he's doing the fun things.
He is.
The next thing is the parallels between like family members and the party members. So you have to look at this from Mael's point of view only.
Yes. Yep.
But when you look at it from Mael's point of view, in the beginning, you have Gustav, who is like her father / like brother figure. So that would be like Verso and Renoir's like parallel a little. Lune would be the older sister, Clair.
Yep. I get that.
And then CL would be the mother. And then you have Minoko and Noko being obviously the dogs.
puppies.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really like this like parallel.
Yes.
I think it makes a lot of sense. And then obviously when Verso comes in, like when Gustav dies, which wouldn't be the first time she's seen a brother die.
No,
and it will not be the last.
not. And it's not the first or last time that her brother figures tried to protect her.
It's also true, yes, and that exactly.
And
that he was
she
protecting
is the
her.
indirect or direct, however you want to see it, cause of his death.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, oh boy, she's traumatized.
Trauma over and over. Even in a fake world, you still gotta live through.
You gotta have your trauma.
Live through your fake brother dying.
But I really like that parallel because I think it actually makes a lot of sense. I think I have no real notes on that. I think I like that parallel that they made with the party members and then to the family. It's like to the real life family.
Yes. And I think it's also just kind of neat that's like basically every character in this story represents somebody or something else. Because even even from the paintress's point of view, like they have their faceless figures and that represents them in the painting, and then you have a real representation of them in Mael's point of view, then you have the real them. There's lots of versions.
There's so many versions of this.
Yes, but they all still it's cool because it is from other people's point of view. It's Mael's and it's the paintress and it's the dad, it's pretty neat. It is neat.
The other big bit of foreshadowing that you kind of learn or you kind of should understand by this point of the game is the petal colors have a huge impact on this game. So red is for Renoir because he paints death, and then the white is for Aline who paints life, and then Mael or Alicia is gold.
Yes.
And if you'd known that from the beginning, you would know that the gommage is not Aline's doing.
It's not white petals.
It's not white petals. It's red. But he's doing that to try to get control back and yada yada yada. But if you when you go back and you're like for me when I was rewatching a lot of those early scenes, it's like it's all red petals.
I'm like, oh, what's happening? It's blood. It's like
But I think that's such a great, again, just subtle thing that when you figure it out and you put it all together, you're like, again, you should. It's like, I should have known that. I mean, you wouldn't. There's no way you would have known it from the beginning.
No.
But it's like it's so like looking back, you're like, I understand. I see it now.
Yes. No, I remember you showed me that scene. You're like, oh, look at these petals. Oh, these are red. These are white. I was like, oh my god, like this is really thought out. Like
yes.
Okay, Samfall.
Yeah.
Like
that is how detailed a lot of this is, which
makes
incredible.
it even better. Exactly.
Yeah. Quick little just note here that the Verso voice actor, who is Ben Starr, who's done a lot of various roles and things that I won't sit here and list off, all the voice actors did fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Yes.
But Verso has like a couple moments that I'm just like, peak. Perfect.
Yes. Yep.
No notes. One of them is, again, we'll talk more about it here in a second. But it's in the ending when you choose Mael's ending,
Yes.
and he is like, I don't want to live, I want to die.
Kill
like,
me.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
just kill me.
basically, yep.
You can hear like the trembling in his voice. Like he does such a good job.
He embodied Verso for sure. Like, just kill me, just put me out of my misery. I was like, damn.
And it's just the whimpering and the sadness, like, God dang. And then the other one, like again in my notes, I have it written here because I knew I was going to forget the moments I'm trying to remember.
Fair.
When he's lying, like early on, when he's talking about Renwar and him being immortal, and even there's like a point where Mael is saying to him, like, I'm surprised, like, why would these people come and talk to me? And he goes, I don't know, like, that seems kind of weird. He does such a good job of kind of having that, like, you can't really, like, that he's lying. It's like,
Yes.
I don't know, man. Why would they come talk to you? I have no idea. Obviously not that, like, obvious.
Well, yeah.
But he's just got it a little in his tone. And it's like, yeah.
It's like these subtle little nuances.
Yes, like you should, like, again, if you can pick up on those, which, again, they're very hard, but on a rewatch or on a replay, you can definitely tell, because you can tell when he's lying.
Yes.
That he has those little subtleties of, like,
Which
it's fantastic.
is so, like, that.
Good job, Ben
Like,
Starr.
A plus to Ben Starr for, like, again, just kind of portraying that thought. And then A+ to the writers, because, again, I'm assuming the writers, directors
Yeah.
are like, hey, portray it like this. Like,
Yeah.
he really did embody
He did such a good job.
the lies, the secrets, the emotions.
I did go back also, because this is the third point that I had under this little bullet point of, like, when you have a choice at the end to lie to Mael about Gustav's death, because she asked Verso, like, could you have really saved him?
Yes.
And you, as a player, get two options. You can tell the truth and say, like, yes, I could have saved him, or you can lie to her and say, no, I couldn't have.
Yes.
And I was watching a video of, like, what happens if you choose the lie option. And again, he just has that subtle voice inflection of being
That
like,
tail. Yep.
you know, like, I couldn't get to him in time. But
Yep.
you just, again, you as a player knowing that you're lying to her, you can just tell a little in his voice, like, yeah,
Yes.
he's lying. And I think in that moment, too, I think Mael also knows, like,
I was about to say, like, because Mael kind of knew.
but especially by that point, yeah, like,
Yeah.
because, I mean, this is, like, at the end of their journey, so I think she's not
They-
dumb to him anymore,
Yes.
but, he again, just does such a good job with those, just, like, subtle little things. I'm like, God, I mean, they all do, but I'm just, there were some Versa moments that I'm like, man, that is just
This
the
is peak.
smallest little, like, inflection, and it does such a good job.
It makes a difference. It does.
All right, now to get to the end of this.
Ooh, the meat and
The
potatoes.
meat and potatoes, though, Act 3 is the endings. And yes, I said endings. There's two actual
Yes.
ones, but of course I have some things here that,
Just some other
just some
thoughts.
other things that maybe you should take in consideration. Because again, these endings are very different and very divisive by people online.
Yes.
But of course, you have the Mael ending, which is seen as the bad ending, and that's kind of a consensus in, like, most
Oh,
Expedition
okay.
33 things that I've seen, is that everybody's like, that's the bad ending. And I'm like, again, the writers say no
right or
wrong.
wrong. Yep.
So, I mean, I'm not gonna say that, especially
No.
because I picked it.
I mean, fair.
But
which, yeah.
it's fine. And then you have the Verso ending. Like we talked about, I think we talked about it, in the tier list? Or-
Either the tier list or, like, just the
or
general
the
question
questions.
part.
I think the Mael ending is my preferred ending.
Yes.
I think the Verso ending is the better ending. I'm not saying that Mael's is wrong, but I think his is ultimately the Verso's ending is the better one.
Yes. I mean, kind of like we brought it up in, like, a little mini cast. It was like, if you were in Alicia's or Mael's shoes, like,
What would you do?
What would you do? And it's like, I
would do what she did.
agree too. It's like, I do what she did as well.
There were also a couple points brought up, which I think are good points to bring up too. One of them being, like, we don't know what happens after that, like, after her cutscene in her ending.
Yes.
She could have left.
Yep.
Like, she could have ended up leaving the canvas. Like, we don't know. I mean, like, sure, we assume she stays, but that's a big assumption
thing
on,
is-
like, the player to make.
Exactly.
Like, she told her father, she's like, oh, well, I'm not going to be in here. And I know Verso was even kind of called her out on her bullshit, being like, you're not planning
You're
to
not
leave,
actually going to
but-
leave. Yep.
But we don't know. Like, maybe, because obviously at the end of her ending, Verso is aging, or aged.
Yes.
I shouldn't say he's aging, he's not. But he's aged, he's weathered.
Yes. He's got a little bit more gray in his hair.
And so people have kind of speculated that maybe she did that on purpose to give him like a feeling of getting older, and then like maybe have him die in a way, or like
live this life he was supposed to live
yes,
and die.
and then she would
as
leave.
an old man. Yes. Yep.
We don't know, because we don't know what happens after that ending. And I'm like, that's fair.
Yep.
I like that everybody gets a happy ending other than Verso, because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Verso in the canvas is already fake. He has been fake this entire time.
Exactly.
Like, the real one is dead. And people, and we'll get to this in a second, but people point to the faceless boy, and that's why this becomes more nuanced than just a moral black and white.
Yes.
It's like, what did he want? And his conversations, because I watched the whole video on this, is like, he wanted both things. He wanted the canvas to survive because he obviously created it, but he also didn't want his family torn apart because of him.
of it. Yes.
So that, again, that's when people are like, well, this ending's right and this ending's wrong. It's like, even when you look at like who objectively should have gotten the right, the call to what to do with this canvas, like,
it's still,
he wanted both things. The only caveat to that is that people point out, like, I think it actually happens in Verso's ending. He goes up to the faceless boy and he goes like, "You're tired, aren't you?" And he nods.
Yes.
But he doesn't ask, "Are you?" He says, "You're tired of painting," I think, actually.
Something like that, yes.
But that's a very poignant question, because, like, on the spot, I feel like he's going to say yes.
Yeah.
He's also a child. Like, that's a big question to ask.
Exactly. If
and
an
like,
adult comes up to you and says, "You're tired," like, yeah, I am.
And he's also, like, he's just saw Verso, like, not kill, because he didn't, but, like, he saw that Verso is willing to fight his way through people who don't agree with him, because he saw the fight with Mayo.
Yes. Yes.
So it's like, he's like, yeah, I'll agree with you, because I don't want to be the next.
That's not going to be me. Exactly.
So I think they're, like, yeah, he asked, and sure, the faceless boy says yes, but again, when you look at the text, which is a whole conversation we could have in its own podcast.
Yeah.
Like, he wants both things, because he doesn't want his family hurting because of him, but he also doesn't really want the canvas destroyed.
Yes. Which, I think I asked you this question before. Like, this was just when we were, like, talking with each other. I was like, as bad as it sounds, I'm like, Verso in the canvas, he's a concept. Verso's dead.
Yes.
So I'm like, do you think Verso as a concept really has any weight or any, like, jurisdiction over what happens? Because in my mind, selfishly, I'm like, you're just a concept to me. My brother.
You're not real.
Yeah, you're the concept of my brother, and selfishly, if I'm the painter of this canvas, or if I'm painting in this canvas, and I want you to be here,
You're
alive
gonna
or
be
aged,
here.
you're going to be here.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah, because I know Verso, like, as a little boy, like, that's his soul.
Yeah.
Like, that's him.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, Verso in the painting is technically the mom's rendition of Verso.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is it really Verso that wants to do this, or is it the concept of Verso that wants to do this?
Yeah. That's why I think the boy should have gotten a choice, and not just
I
like
agree,
a poignant, like,
yes.
you're tired of this, aren't you?
Hey, kid, knock it out. Cut it off.
Now, the final point that I'll bring up, because it did get brought up by a couple of other creators, was, could all of this have been avoided?
Oh.
And this is the last point that I make here, is that it was like, who was right? Was Aline right? Was Renoir right? Did he jump in too soon? There is a cutscene once you wake up in the real world between Acts 2 and 3, like during that quote-unquote, that false epilogue.
Yeah.
Where Alicia is talking to Claire, and she's like, she's worried about her parents, obviously. And Claire responds with, like, they've been in canvases far longer than what they've been in his.
Yes.
They'll be fine. That's basically, she kind of dismisses her, but she's kind of also saying, like, they've been in other canvases longer. Like, they're okay.
Like, this really isn't that different.
Right. It's not, and they're not obviously, like, in immediate harm's way.
Yes.
So I've seen people say, like, so then did Renoir jump in too soon? If she was in no immediate danger, why is he trying to pull her out? Now, the argument can be made that Renoir is trying to pull her out because they lost their son, and she immediately hopped into a canvas and kind of left him with, like, everything to clean up and, like, the girls and all this other shit.
Yes.
Like, she just dumped her responsibilities as mom and said, bye,
Like,
I'm
she
going to go.
forgot about, like, she lost her son, and that sucks as a mother, but, like, you still have two other kids that are alive and well. Kind of well.
I mean, she's alive.
Alive. There you go.
And so, obviously that's probably frustrating to Renoir, and that's why people think, like, maybe, he tried to let her ride it out, and then she wasn't coming back, and so then he jumped in, they fought, and that's what caused the fracture, and it's where
Yes.
we end up with the expeditions, right? But like, if he maybe hadn't been so desperate, and maybe if he just like left her alone for a little longer, could she have could she have mentally kind of like dealt with her grief,
Because
come
she had
back out,
processed it exactly.
yeah, processed it, and then come back out on her own, versus I'm grieving, I'm sad mom, and then my husband in here is being a fucking piece of shit,
basically,
and trying to hurry my grieving process along, and now I'm angry at him, and now they're fighting.
Exactly.
So you're not helping the situation.
Yes.
Because obviously it didn't seem like they were in any like health threat.
No, because I was gonna ask that. Did they technically get like sick if they stay in too long?
They say that like they'll die if they're in there too long.
Okay. Well, because that's just because their physical bodies in the mortal world give out, or have they not really?
There's not like an answer on that.
Okay.
But that's kind of probably like the assumption, and probably because like if you have no grasp of reality, you're just gonna.
I mean, yeah, you're not really living at that point.
Yeah.
At least not in the real world.
But and again, they don't know like how much time moves in like a canvas versus real time, things like that. But it is, again, it's Clair when she says, they've been in other canvases longer, they'll be fine.
And they've been doing this for a long time too.
I mean, in
many years.
canvas years, they've been in there for a century, like probably like more than a century.
I mean, at least 77 years.
Nope,
67.
But
I can do math. It's okay.
But I mean, you have to think that Aline has been in there longer, because she lived in there by herself, or she was in there by herself for a long time before Renoir jumped in to try to pull her out.
Yes.
So we don't know how long she'd even been in there. Now, granted, that is part of the but again, Claire's words seem to give a little bit of confirmation that maybe he just tried too soon.
Yes.
And then he just made it worse because she was grieving and upset, and then you got him trying to like.
These are just two parents that like really miss their family, and they're both going about it a very different way.
Very wrong ways, in my opinion.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't think either extreme is correct by any means, but I don't know to say like who's responsible for this. Could this all have been avoided?
Yeah.
I don't know, because
I think it could have. I think if he would have just left her alone. But I also understand that he was probably drowning in his own grief too.
Exactly.
And dealing with the like family.
Yes. Because he even says like in the game, like, I'm tired of just seeing like statues of y'all, or like, yep, you're here but you're not here.
Yeah. So
which that's tough. Yeah.
Something to think about. Something to think about.
What would you have done? Put in the comments below.
Yeah. But yeah.
No, that was, I mean, again, I, just as an outside person that hasn't played the game, I have enjoyed learning so much about the game, which is, of course, a little biased. My girlfriend said it was really cool, so that definitely helps. But also, just in general, like...
This is definitely a good story to unpack.
Yes, there's so many nuances to, like, the morality of it, just, the storytelling, the lying, the not lying, the concept of it, it's a really neat game.
Hey y'all, this is Lily from the future. I hope y'all enjoyed this deep dive into Expedition 33 just as much as we enjoyed talking about it. If you liked it, be sure to check out the other videos about video games and Expedition 33 as well. Those will all be in the channel, in podcast, or elsewhere, but they're pretty easy to find. And I hope y'all like this video, and we'll see y'all in the next one.